Welcome back, everybody, and today I'm excited to bring to you 10 reasons that you may not want to move to Folsom, California. Now look, of course, Folsom is an amazing place to live. In fact, it gets voted one of the best places to live and raise a family in California all the time. But every town has its downsides, and one of those downsides might be a deal breaker for your family, and that's really important to know. So by the end of this video, you're gonna know whether Folsom, California is the right fit for your family or not, starting with reason number one that you might not want to move to Folsom, California. Now, reason number one is heat. Folsom is a hot place to live. I mean, really hot, like triple digits a lot of the summer hot. Now, it's not, 115 degrees surface of the sun, Phoenix, Arizona hot, but it is definitely at the peak of the summer, 104, 105 degrees hot. And for some people, that's just too much. So if you don't like dry, hot summers, then Folsom really isn't going to be the place for you. Now, of course, there are ways to cool off. In Folsom, they have two lakes. The big one, Folsom Lake, for all of your power boating and motorized play, and the smaller one, Lake Natomas, for your canoeing, kayaking, and paddleboarding, and just splashing and swimming with the kids. So there are great ways to cool off in Folsom, but no matter how you slice it, it's hot, and if you don't like hot, Folsom just might not be the place for your family. Hey, if you're getting anything at all out of this video, do me a favor and hit the like button, click subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss another video with crucial information to help you with your relocation. Now, back to 10 reasons you might not want to move to Folsom, California. The reason number two you may want to consider not moving to Folsom, California is high home prices. As of the recording of this video in the winter of 2025, the median home price in Folsom, California is $752,000, and the average is a little over $809,000. Now that is an expensive median home price. So Folsom isn't for every family. If you're searching for a home more on a budget, then Folsom might not be the place for you. The bottom of the market in Folsom is going to be around $550,000 to $600,000, and those homes are going to need some significant work. Now, what do you get in Folsom for your median home price around $752,000? Well, you're going to get about a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,100 to 2,500 square foot home built in the early to mid 2000s that is in pretty great shape but needs a little bit of work. That's what you're going to get at the median in Folsom, California. So with a median home price in the 750s and the homes even at that price still probably needing a little bit of elbow grease to be the home you want it to be, Folsom isn't for every buyer. So right about now, you're probably wondering who I am, why you should listen to me about real estate, Folsom, or anything at all, really, and that's a fair question. My name is Rich Curtis, and I've been selling homes in Sacramento County and the Folsom area for over 20 years now, in markets ranging from the Great Recession to the COVID market insanity and everything in between. So when it comes to Folsom real estate, I've got you covered. My goal with this channel is to help you make the highest quality decisions you can from the comfort of your couch. So to that end, let's jump right back into our list of reasons that you might not want to move to Folsom, California. Reason number three that you might want to reconsider moving to Folsom, California is traffic. Folsom is right off of Highway 50, right at the county line between Sacramento County and El Dorado County. At peak commute times, the main exit for Folsom, which is going to be your East Bidwell exit, is really quite busy and quite backed up. And East Bidwell Road itself is the main artery in Folsom. It's where everybody's going to go pick up the kids at school, go shopping on the way home, go to a restaurant for dinner, and to access most of the subdivisions in town. People are going to start out on that East Bidwell Road. That means getting off of that East Bidwell exit, and that means being jammed up at peak traffic times. Now, Folsom is also quite spread out. It can take you 15 to 20 minutes to get from Highway 50 all the way down to, say, Old Town Folsom. So you're going to spend some time in the car there in traffic on the city streets as well as the traffic on the freeway. So no matter how you cut it, if you live in Folsom, traffic is going to be a part of your daily life. And if sitting in traffic is going to fry your noodle, then Folsom might not be the place for you. Reason number four you may want to reconsider moving to Folsom, California is that there is a lot of construction going on in Folsom right now. There's a huge development south of Highway 50 called Folsom Ranch that's building out 11,000 new homes over the next 25 to 30 years. And they're well on their way. And it means there's going to be continued construction going on in Folsom. So if you're not interested in living in a town where there's a lot of expansion going on, then Folsom might not be the right choice for your family. Now, here's the good news. If you're worried about construction, dust, or noise, or anything like that, the new Folsom Ranch subdivision, being south of Highway 50, is pretty much on the other side of everything that has always been Folsom. So to the north of Highway 50 is everything that everybody has always considered Folsom forever. And to the south was basically open fields until they started building out this subdivision. So if you don't purchase in Folsom Ranch, then you're not going to be subject to the construction noise and the dust and all of that in the main part of Folsom. So if you buy in any part of established Folsom, this really won't be that big of a deal for you. But if you do buy in Folsom Ranch, especially now as the first homes were completed about 2018 and the first residents started moving into homes in about 2019. So we're only 5 to 6 years into this whole thing out of 25 to 30 years. You can expect, if you buy in Folsom Ranch, to have a lot of construction going around you for a long time. So if you don't want to live in that type of environment, then you don't want to buy in Folsom Ranch. But as I say, the good news is you can buy in the older main part of Folsom. Now, reason number 5 that you might want to reconsider moving to Folsom, California, is that it's getting crowded. Now, this could be a positive or negative depending on who you are. They're building out a lot of new homes, especially south of 50 in the new Folsom Ranch development. So that means a lot more families coming to Folsom, a lot more people, a lot more diversity, new people to interact with, new people to meet, and that might be a positive for you and your family. However, if you don't want to live in a town that's expanding, if you don't want to live in a town that's getting more crowded, and if you don't want to see the lines at the grocery store get longer, the lines at the gas station get longer, or the time you spend sitting in traffic get longer, well, you've got to consider that with that new subdivision being built out south of 50, there's going to be a lot more people coming, and that means more crowding and longer wait times. Reason number 6 you may want to reconsider moving to Folsom, California is nightlife, or lack thereof. There really isn't a bar scene nightlife style situation going on in Folsom. Now, there are great restaurants to go out to at night, and those restaurants do have some great bars, but pretty much the whole town's gonna roll the curbs in and be in bed by 9 to 10 p.m. And it's very much a flip-flops and shorts out on the open air porch or around the fire pit kind of vibe, not a clubs, flashing lights, and DJ kind of vibe. So if you're still in the phase of life where that kind of nightlife is appealing to you and you're wanting to go out and access that all the time, you're gonna have to get on Highway 50 and go to downtown Sacramento to get that kind of nightlife. Now, depending on the traffic time and when you're doing it, that's gonna be a 30-minute drive, sometimes 40, 45 minutes if you hit the worst of the traffic. And it definitely means using your car to get there. So if you want easily accessible, lots of nightlife that goes on beyond 9 or 10 p.m., then Folsom might not be the right town for you. It might just be a little too sleepy, suburban style place for the way you want to live. If you've gotten this far and you're still not sure whether Folsom's right for you or not, feel free to reach out to me via the contact information on your screen or in the description down below. Like I said, I've been selling homes here for over 20 years, and I've helped hundreds of families like yours decide where to land in Sacramento County, and I'm always happy to help. All right, now let's jump right back into our list of reasons why you might not want to move to Folsom, California. All right, reason number 7 you might want to reconsider moving to Folsom, California is public transportation, or just like nightlife, lack thereof. Now, if you are coming from a very walkable and public transportation type community, like say the East Bay or San Francisco, then Folsom is going to be a little frustrating for you. There really isn't a robust public transportation system there. In fact, I wouldn't even know how to try to get around on a bus in Folsom. There is a light rail system there that does take you to downtown Sacramento. So if you want to access the arts or the nightlife available in Sacramento and not have to use your car or have a couple of drinks and not have to worry about it, you can hop on the light rail and do that from Folsom Boulevard down. But other than that, there's really not much public transportation. So if you're the kind of person that really likes using the BART, the light rail, the bus, and public transportation, then Folsom might not be the right fit for your family. Reason number 8 you may want to reconsider moving to Folsom is HOA and Mello-Roos. Look, we already went over the fact that the cost of homes is quite high in Folsom, with a median home price around $752,000 and an average home price of a little over $809,000. Now, in addition to that, and whatever your payment will be on those numbers based on your down payment and credit situation, you're going to have some additional fees because most of Folsom is in planned unit subdivision style neighborhoods. Even the older ones have HOA payments, which can be in the $100 to a couple of $100 a month. And a lot of the newer ones are going to have Melrose payments. Now, if you're not familiar with Melrose, it is basically a way that builders pass on the cost of community infrastructure to the eventual owners of the homes via a taxable bond. So you pay this as part of your annual property taxes, but if you break it down by the month, it can be quite high, $250, $300. In some cases, I've seen them upwards of $400 to $500 a month for the Melrose payments. Now, this covers the cost of things like sidewalks and sewers and streetlights and all of that, but it's still money added onto your payment coming out of your pocket that will cost you more for a house in Folsom than it would for a house in other communities nearby where the homes are a little bit older and you don't have these Melrose payments. So if you're not familiar with HOA and Melrose and having a bunch of added fees tacked onto your payment is going to frustrate you, then Folsom might not be the community for you. Of course, HOA and Melrose fees are not all negative. Some of these HOAs come with really great amenities, things like clubhouses and parks and swimming pools and gyms that you can access as part of your HOA membership fees. Some of them cover the exterior lawn maintenance and front yard maintenance on properties in the neighborhoods as well. So there can be some great benefits from the HOAs. And of course, those Melrose fees did fund the community infrastructure that you're taking advantage of. So I'm not saying you shouldn't purchase in a community with HOA and Melrose fees. I'm just saying you should know about it. You should ask your agent about it, and you should account for that in your payments because you can get some sticker shock if you're just looking at the cost of the homes and not accounting for those extra fees. Reason number 9 that you might not want to move to Folsom, California is because it's suburbia and it is mostly a strip mall kind of shopping experience. Now, this one, again, might actually be a positive for your family, not a negative. People have mixed views on suburbia. Some people think suburbia is the best of both worlds, close enough to the city, but still a little more space around you and not in the middle of the hubbub, but also not rural and out in the sticks. Other people think of it as the worst of both worlds. I don't have the great fun downtown in the city, and I don't have all the space around me of the sticks. It's kind of this weird middle ground, and that just really depends on you. But you should know before moving to Folsom that it is very much a cul-de-sac, tight streets, tight houses, suburban neighborhood kind of feel. If you're coming from the Bay Area, this would be a, South San Jose or suburban San Jose style area to live. Now, what comes with that as you develop out neighborhoods this way is shopping in strip malls. Most of your shopping happening in these strip malls. Now, Folsom has some great ones, outdoor walkable ones like the Palladio that are really great. And then they have all of your normal kind of big strip malls where you have the grocery store and a couple of restaurants and that sort of thing. And it is a really easy place to shop. It has literally every big box retail store you can think of. You're not going to have to leave Folsom to really get anything that you need for your daily life. So shopping is a big pro there. But it is, for the most part, going to be in these big box retail strip mall kind of environments. Now there is Old Town Folsom down on the river, which is gorgeous and has a bunch of smaller mom and pop shops and some bars and restaurants and is a really good time to go and explore and a great benefit to the community. But in reality, Folsom residents spend all of their time in and around the strip malls and the Palladio and getting life done there. And downtown, Old Town Folsom is really just kind of on a fun Sunday afternoon, date night kind of experience type of place. So if you are not a big fan of suburbia, if you're not a big fan of sort of strip mall shopping and suburban living, then Folsom definitely wouldn't be the right fit for your family. All right, reason number 10 and the last reason on our list today why you may want to reconsider moving to Folsom, California is that it's a driving city. Now this goes hand in hand with some of our other ones, like it's a suburban strip mall kind of place and there's not a lot of public transportation. Folsom is pretty well spread out. Like I said, it can be a 15 to 20 minute drive from East Bidwell on Highway 50 down to Old Town Folsom, say. So that's not going to be something you're going to walk. Also, with the big expansion happening south of Highway 50 in the big Folsom Ranch development, there is a lot of space down there south of 50, and it is a big drive from, say, Old Town Folsom all the way into Folsom Ranch. Even from the Palladio into some parts of Folsom Ranch could take you 10 or 15 minutes at peak traffic time. So it is a spread out sort of place. Now, I'm not suggesting that 10 to 15 minutes in the car is a real hardship for most people. I'm just saying you can't walk it, so you got to have a car. If you're coming from a urban downtown environment where you didn't necessarily have to own a car, then that's going to be a bit of a shock for you. You got to have a car in Folsom. It's a driving kind of place. Now, I will say it is actually a very bike-friendly community, especially in the older part. Not as much in the south of 50 Folsom Ranch development, but in the older parts of Folsom, the Parkway and all of those parts, and Briggs Ranch, those parts of Folsom were developed around a bike and walking trail system. They actually have 50 miles of class 1 biking and walking trails. Most of them are paved. They connect the 48 developed parks in Folsom. So it is very easy to go from some of the older homes in Folsom right on your bike and onto a bike path and get to one of the strip malls to go have a cup of coffee or meet a friend or take the kids to the park or that sort of thing. So if you're a cyclist, or if you're just trying to get from home to the park and you buy in some of the older, more established neighborhoods in Folsom, it can be walkable and very bike friendly, but there's no denying it. Even if you're using those trails and doing that a lot, you need to own a car if you're living in Folsom. All right, that wraps up our quick list of 10 reasons why you might not want to move to Folsom, California. Now, like I said, Folsom is an amazing place to live. It's often voted one of the best places to live and raise a family in California. And I think Folsom actually represents some of the very best that Northern California living has to offer. But if one of the items on this list today is a deal breaker for your family or how you like to live, that's important to know before you consider moving to the town. So I hope this video really helped you decide whether Folsom's an option for your family or not. Now, if you still think it is an option and you want to do a deeper dive and learn more, you can click this video right here for the pros and cons of living in Folsom, California. Or if you want to see Folsom pitted in a head-to-head battle against some of our other towns, like El Dorado Hills just up the hill, you can click this video right here to see Folsom versus El Dorado Hills. Or if you're thinking you might want to compare Folsom to a slightly more urban environment, you can click this video right here to see Folsom versus Sacramento. Either way, thanks for watching, thanks for making it to the end with me, and I'll see you on the next one.